Okay. I'm not entirely sure if the game was breaking or not,
Probably.
but
Yes.
we took a little break. We're on day 6 now. It was right after he fell asleep after the hike. This may have fucked up the game, like, entirely.
Oh wow.
Oh well, I don't give a shit. We're still going. If I end up killing myself because depression, because that's what it seems like it's going towards right now, that's fine.
He gets to the bleach.
I felt the imminence of death. Oh boy, whole body ache, feel dizzy, clouded by haze. Same wake up immediately. You missed breakfast, and more importantly, the lineup. The lineup. Fuck. You'll never go back beyond words. At least I wanted to keep so then. Stand up right now, or what? I was going to say, trying to twist up my mouth. Really, what could she do to me? Lecture me at the lineup? Hang my photo on the wall of shame? Or use me for inhuman alien experiments? I'm ready for that too. Just let me sleep a couple of hours. Okay, but if you missed the lineup, the door slammed behind the camp leader, and the sleep which had about to fade to claim my mind again. I woke up dazed by dazzled by sunlight. It was 1 p.m. according to my cell phone, which was squeezing the last drops of charge out of its battery. Strangely enough, my body didn't ache, and my head felt clearer. And all in all, it was a good beginning to the day. I was pretending to do early, or spring out of the cabin and head towards the washstands. Yeah, I slept through breakfast, but we will be served lunch soon, so I shouldn't worry that I'll have to stay hungry like I did yesterday. Along the way, I met a pioneer who was faced somewhat. Okay, I think we fucked up. I think we. Really see him. What? Everyone's always too busy with Olga's test. God knows what else. Brush my teeth. Richie, does this look familiar?
This looks very familiar.
Oh no!
Curtis, we're in the Matrix.
Oh god! Oh, a couple minutes ago. How are you doing? The sun's so bright today. I looked up at the sky. Yeah, nothing special. In a second, his face wasn't a single feature. The camp leader is angry today. So angry. His voice sounded painfully familiar too. Well, she's always like that. Well, you know better, yeah? I tried to remember if I've heard this voice or seen this pioneer before. Well, see ya. He turned the water off and quickly marched through the forest path. For a second I thought of following, but stopping completely. I fought it off and decided it was not worth spoiling such a great morning with suspicions and burdensome speculations. Nature was glowing with the bright light of life. Lush treetops were rhythmically swaying in the wind, whispering to each other. And the breeze gently stroked the higher-level grass, birds in cooling shade, escaping the midday heat. The woods and fields stretching beyond the horizon were dissolving in warm sunlight. I don't know which month it is now, but it looks like midsummer. I distinctly remembered the summer vacations of my childhood youth and times of leisure, carefree joy. Childhood games, how many there were. Hide and seek, war games, bungee, swinging behind building a sandcastle, having the toy soldiers where to defend their master to the last drop of their plastic blood.
Plastic blood.
Time to pass 6 times alone, sleep with always was nowhere to be seen. That's but the meaningless of existence was circling in my brain. Like, this isn't very much on such a beautiful day. Think about it. Who could think of grieving for his life, living in vain, or lost early while basking in the rays of such a friendly sun? Certainly not me. I looked upon Jenda. He was meditating, as always. You know, he definitely never gets unnecessary doubts. I remembered it my first hours in this camp the day before, the anguish and the anxiety and fear. It always seems far right now, so little time has passed. Will I get out of here or not? Consider much before. Maybe I'm already dead. Maybe this is the last stop. Please get off the train. What are you thinking about? I looked up so far I've seen before. I couldn't see his face again, and the sun was shining in my eyes. You know, life. It seemed he would sit down next to me, but the other pioneer stayed in the same place, only half turned, which completely killed any hope of seeing his face. Listen, we met earlier. I don't think I remember you. Well, let's say that you know who I am, but I don't. I asked sincerely. Here, you don't. He answered short. I see. Honestly, it's not like I didn't want to talk. I just didn't know what to talk about. My soul was so calm and bothered me. Your first time here? He asked a question, but this tone implied he was only expecting confirmation. Yes, and you? Me? Paused for a few seconds. Nah, it's not my first time here. One might say that I visit this camp every year since my early childhood. Such an answer got me interested. Well, what was it like before? It's always the same. Olga, being the camp leader, all the same pioneers around, all the same lineups at the morning, and all these wicked accidents. For a moment I thought it was me speaking, not him. Interesting. It's just that with every new, he hesitated, year, more and more interesting things happen, and one gets to understand better what's going on. What are you talking about? This conversation positively triggered my curiosity.
We're in the Matrix, Curtis.
Wait, are you sure it was one guy or just more?
There's more.
Richie knows what's happening right now. He knows what is happening. It's pretty... Well, every session in the Pioneer Camp reminds me of the previous one, he said calmly. Probably. This is my first. It shows. Pioneer grinned, but it looks like it won't be the last. Well, it's fun here and all, but you know how they say there's no place like home, but you still have to get back here. Now, I honestly sure this guy was hiding something from me. To be as precise, he stood out too much from the camp's usual ordinariness. It was too different from the local inhabitants. What do you mean? You think I'm stuck here forever or something? I said, enunciating every word. Lunch bell sounded. There's speculations. Camp. Supernatural has had nothing supernatural has happened in these 5 days. Moreover, everything here seemed to be too natural, sometimes even boring. Maybe this pioneer didn't mean anything, and by that I just misunderstood. And he and I went to the canteen, intending to feast. Crawled to the first meal. Let's go to the table. Scrolling, standing, patiently waiting for the cook to get my assigned food rations. Okroshka is traditional Russian cold soup, which he didn't really like. I sat in a corner and mentally rejoiced that I would be able to eat in peace. Did they all just disappear? All the other camp members?
Huh?
Did they just disappear?
No, no one disappeared.
Reached last. However, when I moved in... Oh, okay. Appeared from the crowd. Can we? I had nothing against their company,
So many
of course.
blondes.
Lunch was going surprisingly common. Electronic wasn't jabbering as it usually does. I finally finished the meal, sprawled in my chair, and satisfied clicked my tongue. Listen, do you know this pioneer? I saw him today. You know, he's so... Suddenly realized they didn't know how to describe him. Well, he's about my height and same constitution. Hard to say from such a description. Slavia smiled. Well, we have a camp of such guys if it comes to that. All in all, they were right. Why are you asking? It's just that I met him today, and it seemed like I haven't seen him here before. Look in the canteen. How did they kill Miss Lunch? Why didn't I think of that? That is. That's it. Okay, guys, enjoy your meal. I got up to rows of tables, and Zane sitting there, gave a friendly smile. Arguing about something. Olga started like pioneers. Good thing she didn't notice me. There are hardly any free seats, but the guy here from this morning is nowhere to be seen. She was getting more and more interesting. Looks like I won't find him here. Maybe he already had lunch. I headed to the exit. Oh, whoa. It was so hot outside that it seemed like you would instantly melt after coming out of the shade. I felt suddenly like sleeping. I yawned and headed to the camp leader's cabin in order to follow the domestic interpretation of the Archimedes principle. In the end, Olga is unlikely to return anytime soon, at least I think so, and I'll definitely have a couple of hours to rest. Anyways, I don't expect any other options to arise, especially in this heat. The heavenly coolness in the cabin became my salvation. I took off my clothes and jumped into bed. Crickets were lazily chirping outside, the wind was shaking in the curtains in the window, and I sank into a dream. Knocking on the door woke me up. The knocks were soft but insistent. Luckily, I got up and wanted to open it. Strangely, there was nobody on the doorstep.
You what?
I opened my eyes and stepped out to look around. It seemed no one was around. A dream, maybe? It was already 4 o'clock. I felt jaded. Probably shouldn't have slept in the afternoon. After all, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Put on my boots, left the cabin, and locked the door. Where shall I go? There's not much time till dinner. A sudden thought came to me that it'd be nice to refresh myself, so I went towards the beach. The sun has passed the midday mark a while ago. It gets dark early here in the south. I squinted and looked up at the flaming disc. Who was that just now? I flinched. The same mysterious guy standing in front of me. Once again, his face was hard to see due to the bright light. For a moment, the sun blinded me so I cannot see anything besides the faint contours of objects. Are you stalking me? Nope, I was just passing by, he answered calmly. Then you should know better. So you haven't seen anyone? Correct. I rubbed my eyes, but that did not help. Why didn't I see you at lunch? I asked him bluntly. I wasn't hungry. He laughed. The vision came back to the pioneer and miraculously disappeared once again. I think we're going insane, Richie. We're going insane. What the hell is going on here? No, there should have been something strange about that guy. He must have been directly related to everything happening around here. I'll have to find out. But for starters, it's good to confirm that I'm not mistaken, that he's just not just a local pioneer. It It was quite crowded at the beach. It looked like everyone from the camp was here. Well, no wonder. It's so hot outside. Olga was standing just a bit further apart from everyone, keeping an eye on her army of pioneers. Since I thought that coming here might have been the best idea, she noticed me. Hey, Semyon, you weren't at the lineup and generally just lounging around all day. I did not know how to answer. And just how are you planning to become a proper pioneer? She continued more softly. Olga, in the camp, there's a pioneer who looks a lot like me. She looked surprised. Maybe, I don't know. Why do you ask? Oh, I'm just curious. Well, we have a lot of boys here. Alright, never mind. Someone's yell came from the further side of Olga, rushed in this direction. Well, it looks like I'll be spared a lecture. I lowered myself in the sand and stared at the pioneers playing in the water. A few minutes of sitting, Ileana approached me. Why so sad? I'm not sad. Well, why are you sitting here all alone? Just thinking. About what? I decided to spare her my story about the mysterious pioneer. Well, imagine that you are chatting with a weird person, and you have to figure out what exactly is so weird about them. Simple, I would just ask them. She laughed. Too simple, but he won't answer. How do you know? How do you know? Have you tried asking? No, it's obvious. Lena did not answer. She just sat down next to me and let out a tired sigh. I'm all swimmed out. And what if they know something but won't tell you? Make them. But how? For a bit longer, we sat together talking about random things, and I got up, said goodbye, and went away. Time to find the mysterious stranger and get all the answers. Curtis. Okay, guys, if we finish this in this episode, it's gonna be a long one. Otherwise, it's gonna be another episode. It's gonna be probably one more. Yeah. Right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Episode 20? Or is this episode 20? I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to look it up later. But if we end this episode, okay, it's gonna be a long video. If it seems like it's gonna come towards the end. It was empty as always. Only a small. I'll go as far as like 25 minutes or something like that. Then we'll see. Small dust tornadoes occasionally visible on it. Go back to his camp, and I heard someone whisper, "Don't trust him." Someone was hiding behind a monument. A pioneer was sitting there with his back to me. Once again, the voice seemed strangely familiar. Who are you? Took a few steps toward. Don't stop! Don't come any closer. For some reason, I froze in my tracks. From somewhere deep inside, an assurance came to me, and I understood that I shouldn't argue with him. All right, I'll stay here. Have you seen him? Talk to him. He asked nervously. Who are you even talking about? He was dressed in a pioneer uniform. You know who? And I definitely did know. He was talking about that weird. I sort of yes. I answered after a few moments of silence. What did he tell you? The pioneer asked in a pleading tone. Nothing, really. Did he give you any advice? Did he tell you what to do? Threaten you? No, nothing like that. Of course, he seemed pretty weird, but nothing more than that. Remember, he may not be alone, or more likely he is alone, but you may meet many pioneers here who look like him. And what about you? Who are you? Who are you hiding from? You will understand. In time. Just remember, the most important thing is to find the exit. I think we're gonna finish it! All of a sudden, a strong gust of wind came, removing the leaves and trees and throwing an old paper bag on my face, shielding me, and I averted my eyes. When I looked back at the monument, the pioneer was already gone. At the moment, I was overrun by fear. Real, almost tangible fear. I remembered being scared during my first hours at this camp. But back, everything around seemed kind of friendly. Now, Sylvianok revealed its fangs, getting ready to eat me, and ahead, the unknown. My body was covered in goosebumps, my throat was dry, and my hands were shaking. I tried to ignore it all and headed back to camp. It was already dinner time, but I had no desire to go to the canteen. After meeting the second mysterious pioneer, just thinking about the locals maybe, if not afraid, unless then at least creeped out. I then don't even know who or what they all are. And even though nothing had happened, it does not mean I can trust them. I stopped in front of the club house and then realized that this is not the best spot to be at. I could run into someone, which was not something I wanted to do at the moment. Once running, I hurried towards the forest and walked a few meters along the path before finally stopping. On one side, the mysterious pioneer. Well, two of them to be precise. On the other, all the other inhabitants of the camp, who seemed absolutely normal. Either way, my decision was to stand back and let everything resolve itself with some under serious pressure. At this point, it was clear to me I had to do something on my own. But what exactly? Everyone is probably having dinner, so I have a good chance to make it to Olga's place without being noticed. My clothes that I wore when I arrived here along with my cell phone. I'm able to come here with a solid plan out at the bat, so first time I might be able to was well hide in the forest. I leaped up the steps and entered the building. My clothes were right where I left them, and my phone was where it was supposed to be, under my pillow. Quickly grabbed it, shoved it in my pocket, then I noticed something on the screen. The message window was open. The text read, "You're wrong, Semyon. You are so wrong." It felt like my soul left my body. I froze on the spot. I was shaking and blood was pumping so hard. It felt like my skull was going to burst open from the pressure. It took at least full minute for me to come back to my senses. Olga could have typed in the message, or one of the pioneers. It's easy to figure out how to do it, even if they're not familiar with this technology. But no one besides me should know where I keep the phone. This event was the straw that broke the camel's back. I rushed out of the house, determined never to come back here. Oh shit. Night fell in the campgrounds. I was sitting in the woods for a few hours, trembling at every noise. The spot that I chose is far away from the path, so it will be hard to find me. I was keeping a few plans in my head for the time being. To try and run to kill every single person in the camp. However, on the other hand, one thought chased me and realized that I shouldn't behave like this because of some strange pioneer, or because of the message on the phone. All of this was reinforcing the thought that everything happening here was far from normal. However, there was no proof that anyone in the camp had anything to do with it. I could have stayed here till morning, lost in my own thought, but I heard footsteps coming from somewhere nearby. So you decided to escape after all. I had turned around but couldn't see the pioneer's face in the dark. Nevertheless, I was pretty sure it was him. I wasn't afraid then. More precisely, I was so physically exhausted that I prepared for any possible course of events and somehow managed to reason approximately and maintain the conversation. I wouldn't call this an escape. I answered, slowly searching out of the word. Huh? Then what is it? A tactical retreat. Brilliant. He burst into laughter. Listen, why don't you tell me what's going on? Who are you and what do you want from me? What did that guy tell you at the gate? It seemed that he didn't even hear my question. He told me not to trust you. I lied. But on the other hand, I thought that it was what he meant. Well, that was always the way for him. Running away, hiding. I could hear the irritation in his voice. Tired. I'm not sure what kind of circus you are running here, but I'm not going to be a part of it. Oh, why not? You're the star, after all.
No!
Mr. Anderson!
Mr. Anderson!
I couldn't see his face, but I bet he was smiling. Explain my part to me then. You know, I was like you in the beginning. The first time everything went peacefully. Then I escaped, tried to understand what was going on, got mad and even tortured them to get the truth. He laughed crazily. I shivered, but it was pointless. Continued the pioneer after calming down a bit. Pointless. And then I began to notice the lapses. At first I just heard their voices from a distance and sometimes in my head. Then vague silhouettes appeared. Then they slowly took on physical form. And finally they stepped into my world. I could touch them, introduce them to other pioneers. And they were all different. Different, you get it? Different! I started shouting. And it recurred again and again. You can get used to the loops, but then I learned how to get into the worlds by myself, to interact with the others. But it turned out that I'm not alone. There are lots of us. Today you saw at least one more. He fell silent. Is this the original Semyon?
I don't know.
Is this the first one? So I simply waited. After a minute he continued. It's not that simple, of course. And it's not always possible. Only under certain circumstances. When you feel strong emotions, for example. I instantly remembered that how I saw him the first time. The time I didn't feel any emotions at all. Including the moments when you feel happy. As if he was reading my thoughts. I see. So you're trying to say that there are several parallel worlds, including the same camp, with its inhabitants, where I'm replaced by you or that guy I met at the bus stop. Yeah, something like that. The creepy music, though. You hear the spooky music?
Spooky boogie.
His answer didn't surprise me at all. In the end, it's clear that whatever happens here is beyond the limits of human understanding, and this theory didn't even seem all that unusual. But you said that everything recurs. Yes, it recurs. And what will happen afterwards? You'll start from the very beginning. You'll wake up on the bus, come to the camp, meet Olga, the girls, electronic. What if it happened to you, and why should it happen to me as well? It happens to everyone. Once again, he laughed hysterically. And how many loops have you experienced so far? I stopped counting them already. At first I tried to remember them, though. Maybe a few hundred. No wonder. It was clear to me that this guy was suffering from the progressive mental dysfunction. But you searched for a way out, didn't you? He didn't answer. That's what a guy at the bus stop was talking about. Because he understands nothing, damn it! He shouted. Because he's just like you, constantly running away, hiding. What would you suggest then? If I had suggestions, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you. Alright, but you were trying, weren't you? Are you trying to understand what I know since I've been around here for a long time? Yes, cheerfully. Well, that's evident. Yes, I did try to run away from here. There. He pointed away towards the forest. There's nothing there. Nothing but trees. And I've been walking there for several days and finally passed out and find myself on the bus again. Same for walking along the road. It's endless. Talking to somebody about that is pointless. You probably already understood that by yourself. I did. I interjected. Even if you try to explain your situation directly, at best you'd be considered an idiot. What if you try not to leave the bus? It's pointless. Sooner or later you'll be found. I even tried to spend the entire time there, and in the end I fell asleep, and everything started from the beginning. And what if you start it by yourself and leave? No keys. And I don't have any carjacking skills. Cursed cycle. Exactly. A long silence fell. Finally I asked, and what about the people around here? Don't they raise absolutely reasonable suspicions? Suspicions? After again. The only thing that's suspicious about them is that no matter how much you tell them, they stare at you with their eyes out on stalks. The people. I fear them at first too. Then I use them for different experiments. And now I don't consider them humans. They're all dolls, puppets. You can easily predict their any reaction, any word or action. So they aren't worth fearing, are they? The one worth fearing is yourself, he said softly. You know how funny it is when human bones crack as they slowly break from distension? Looks like he finally lost his marbles. Listen, I understand everything, but the other one thinks that's a bit much too. But it doesn't matter. Nobody but you is real here. The pioneer suddenly fell silent. Well, no, I don't agree with you. You're probably thinking, why didn't I check this all by myself? Aren't you? Why didn't I try to reach the nearest village or town? Yes, I did have such thoughts. Why wasn't I suspicious? Why wasn't I doing different stuff instead of searching for answers? Well, yes. Forget about it. That's normal. We all behave like this for the first time here. But how many others have you seen so far? Not that many. The pioneer was lost in thought. About 10 people, maybe. But I'm sure there are many more of them. And? Is everyone like this? In fact, yes. Only the details are different. The main thing is invariable. There's no way out of here. And by the way, you're just like the majority of them. The only thing that differs is that you've heard everything from me of experiencing it for yourself. I don't know how I should thank him for that. Well, and what now? Nothing, he said shortly. I closed my eyes and lost myself in thought. That was a critical mistake. I didn't see anybody, just like the previous times. So it's clear what's going on now. But in fact, how could everything he said guide me to an answer? Yes, I'm not alone. Yes, everything recurs. But what's the reason for all this? And what is more important, where's the way out? The only thing that I extracted from the conversation was the local inhabitants were not worth fearing. And that was quite significant for me for now, since it was much better to sleep in a warm cabin instead of the forest. So I took my things and head towards camp. As I was walking, the conversation with my fellow sufferer popped up in my mind every now and then. Why didn't I ask him about the message on my phone and the other stuff? There were hints, after all. Maybe if I found some details, I could have drawn some conclusions. However, it didn't seem like our meeting would be the last one. The lights were on in Olga's cabin. I opened the door gently and went in. Speak of the devil, here you are, the camp leader said angrily. Olga, I am so tired now. Let's put off the lecture. Tired from what, I wonder? From everything, I snapped rudely. The camp leader looked at me with surprise and fell into bed without undressing. Simeon, a role model pioneer shouldn't behave like that. And how should he behave then? Well, not like that, the camp leader stumbled for a moment as if struggling to pick the right words. He should respect his seniors. I respect you immensely for sure. Semyon, the sarcasm in my voice didn't go unnoticed. And now I'd like to sleep. Wait, by the way, how far is the nearest town? When does the bus arrive? How can I even get out of here? I asked in a surprisingly calm voice. There was no answer, and there shouldn't have been any. I said it all just in order to get rid of her. Why are you silent? I'm tired. Let's just talk about that tomorrow. Camp leader got up and turned off the light. Yes, it's all just like that guy said. Why did I speak to him so calmly and properly, I wonder? I should have been shivering from horror. The pioneer didn't have much credibility, but I had a feeling that he's unable to harm me. But as soon as I thought that it would be a good idea to ask something else, fatigue overtook me and I passed out. Day 7. Is this the final day? Day 7?
I think so.
Oh, I'm going back. Oops. The bright sunlight was striking me through my eyelids. Alright, we're gonna go for about, we're gonna go to, another 6 minutes and it was 2 p.m. Holy shit! This finished me off, and my body required much more recovery than usual. Stroll in the room thinking what I should do today. I always say my life in the camp would never be the same again. Everything I've heard has changed Pioneer. Everything's just as he said. I have plenty of time ahead. I grabbed my hygiene kit and went outside. Managed to take a couple of steps and somebody ran in my back. I saw Lisa. Hey, be careful, she said differently and ran on her way. She had some kind of bag in her hands. Yet another ordinary day in this crazy place. I finished brushing my teeth and spent an eternity washing my face with ice cold water to bring myself to my senses and refresh my head at least a bit. Yeah. I felt a bit better after that. Suddenly, hope struck me from nowhere. It wasn't the hope I'd likely to leave this place safely. Rather, I just didn't want to believe that everything was as bad as that guy told me. Oh shit. Good morning. I heard a faint voice from the woods. Someone stood behind a tree. Morning. Are you ready? Ready for what? I looked again and it seemed like it was the pioneer from the bus stop yesterday. Indeed, I was ready for such weirdness today, so I wasn't really surprised and started this conversation quite clear-headed. You didn't believe him, did you? What are you talking about? Everything that he said. Alright, but what is your opinion on what is happening? I already distanced from myself from the outside world and decided to treat everything happening to me just like a fictional film, not reality. Hopefully it would give me more room to move around in terms of situational logic analysis. There is an exit. There has to be, he said excitedly. I don't know, but I'd like to believe that too. If you just... Semyon! I turned around. Slavia was standing next to me. Who were you talking to? I had no one. Just talking to myself. I already think it was worth telling her about the aliens from parallel worlds. You probably can't even see them anyway. Have you prepared already? Prepared for what? Another hike? No. Today's the last day of the session. What? See the smile on her face. There'll be a bus this evening, and we're leaving. Holy cow. That was even the most incredible twist, but was this what the Sinister Pioneer was talking about? Probably it was. Well, apparently I'll have to go for a second lap and live yet another week at this camp. But this time I know everything. I haven't packed yet. It's not like I have much to pack anyway. Okay. Flavia shifted her gaze. Seemed like she wanted to say something, but hesitated. Well, I'll see you then. Yeah. I had to ask when we were leaving at least. I went to the square with the intention of discovering that. There's got to be someone I know there. Believe it or not, there was only Jenda waiting for me at the square. Probably all the pioneers were busy packing. I took a seat on the bench and just stared at the sky. Turns out that today I just have to wait for the departure, pass out on the bus, and wake up in this camp again, just like the first day. Everything was drowning in silence. It's exactly the time of summer day. Yeah, guys, we're gonna finish it this episode. I'm going after an after-lunch doze, and the wind is saving its energy to deliver long... I don't even care if it takes an hour. I don't care, guys. I don't care. Richie, buckle your seatbelt.
We're going on a trip.
Buckle your seatbelt.
We're going on a trip.
Wait,
my favorite rocket ship.
You finished this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't say anything.
That's why I've been keeping quiet. I know what's happening.
Oh dear. It was big. Oh, the pioneers have surely cleaned up everything. I wonder if this is the common route or the game fucked up, because I clicked a ton of those things and it didn't work.
I think this is the common route that you get if you fuck yourself. Chris is mad.
We're not doing another route. I don't care.
You can play it while not recording.
Yes. If I feel like it, which I probably won't.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, there's a skip mode, so you don't have to, like, read everything all over again.
Abel's drawer. Someone called for me just as I approached the door. Sure, conscious as we approached the cabin. Are you already packed up? Already packed up, I answered, imitating him. You haven't quite been yourself for the last few days. What makes you say that? How should I know? You know better. I mean, why are you so concerned?
I mean, they've only known him for a week. How would they know what he's really like?
I don't know. A real pioneer always treats a comrade's problems as his own. I cast a skeptical look at him. Thanks for your concern. I'm fine. There's actually a half a loaf of stale bread and a piece of smoked sausage in the drawer.
Oh.
I ate everything with deliberate pleasure, washing it down with smelly water that Olga probably used to water the plants. Just as I finished, someone started knocking on the door. Come in. Leanna rushed into the room. Oh, it's just you, she said disappointedly. And who did you expect to see? A circus complete with bears? Leanna giggled. Where's Olga? Don't know. I shrugged. Why not? I don't know because I don't know. What do you want from her anyway? Got to ask something before the departure. Okay, I'll tell her what you were searching for if I see her. By the way, why aren't you packing up? Like I have much to pack. Well, see you. She cracked a sly smile and bounded out the cabin, slamming the door behind her. And still, it's really strange that nobody seems to be puzzled by the sudden departure. And why am I the only one who's not expecting it? Well, you gotta leave camp at some point.
They're only there for a week.
Yeah. Like, well, I go to camp. I'm only there for a week.
I guess, but it's like a pioneer camp. They're pioneers, Curtis.
Yeah, but this is a summer camp. Most camps, you stay there for like a week or 2 weeks and you're gone. Like, what, you expecting there to be the whole goddamn summer?
No, I was expecting like a month. Maybe.
No, it's a summer camp. You leave after a week.
Okay.
Because they have some summer camps, though, or like have sessions. But they said it's the end of the session. So, like, they have like 5 weeks out of like the year, out of like the whole summer or something like that. And each week is a session, and then a different group of kids come in each session. That's usually how summer camps work. Is that. But, and this is, and they're leaving, this is the, whichever session this is, they're leaving.
Okay.
Was anyone here this is the last time we're seeing each other? The words of that guy in the forces about this camp's tenants being unreal suddenly sprang into my mind. Right now, I'm more ready to believe it than ever. The desk drawer where I found that my breakfast contained lots of odds and ends. I grabbed a pencil and a piece of paper, examined them for some time, and slipped them into my pocket, just in case. I had no intention of watching over the pioneers running around and packing, so I lay on my bed and didn't even notice how I dazed off. So I guessing he took the pen and paper to make a journal, or to say, or
a suicide note. I'm kidding.
or to maybe if he's telling the truth, these will disappear on the bus when I wake up on the bus.
Maybe.
Or
I don't know.
Or it's somebody's voice that woke me up. The familiar pioneer was sitting directly opposite with his back to me. I've gotten used to him since yesterday, stopping. Hey, why do you always hide your face? Because you shouldn't see it. If you say so, I wasn't in a position to argue. So what are you going to reveal this time? You already know that it's the last day of a session, do you? Yep. And you've already spoken with that one? Yep. So, what did he tell you? Nothing special. He said there's an exit out of here. The pioneer burst into laughter. Yeah, I believed that 2 ages ago. And now? And what is now? I'll have my past, my life back then. He stopped talking for some time. Anyway, it was all a long while ago, so I don't really remember. The future is all the same. Loops, loops, loops. Repetitions of the same story. Where's this now? Well, I hate to say it, but I'm not as just lost in time as you are. Oh, that's nothing. That'll come with time. He broke into diabolic laughter. There's just one thing I don't understand. What's your reason for coming to me? What do you expect to achieve? Me? Nothing, really. So why did you come, then? It's just because you, him and the others, like us, are the only real people around here. Given everything he said to me recently, I wasn't ready to believe that all the local tenants were just puppets in some kind of hellish stage play. Are you sure that you're right? Right about what? Well, that you're right about everything. I can't be right or wrong. I didn't choose this world. I didn't throw myself into it. I'm just here, and you're just here. Listen, I've already got a headache from your philosophizing. How do you... Philosophize. I can't fucking speak today. It's kind of puzzled myself as to why I'm so calm talking to this mysterious pioneer. This way. Well, here it is, right in front of me. All the fantasy and the doublery that's happened in this camp. Here it is, an explanation, at least a partial one, for how I got here. Here they are, the answers I've searched for such a long time. On the other hand, my behavior was quite logical. While I couldn't quite explain what was happening, this cuckoo guy just talked and talked. It's not like his words changed anything. Then what's the point of listening to him? Oh no, you will soon understand everything yourself. Somebody was knocking at the door. I just got up to open it. Slavia at the doorstep. You came to see Olga? No. Come in then. I was 100% sure that the pioneer had already disappeared. Turns out I was right. Slavia took a seat on the bed and I snuggled against the wardrobe in the far right corner of the room. She was distinctly nervous. Did something happen? Not really, it's just today's the last day. I'm already aware. Better late than never. Well, so I thought. I mean, we probably won't see each other ever again. It's a small world, as they say. But maybe you would give me your address to write letters. I would have if I only knew it myself. You know, let's do it the other way around. You give me your address, I'll definitely write you upon arrival. But why don't you want to give me yours? Well, we're just about to move, so you never know. It's better if I write you. I tried to put on my cutest smile to make my story look more credible. Oh, okay, it's fine then. So I get up and seem to be leaving. Hey, wait, what about the address? Let's do it later. An expression of sorrow and disappointment crossed her face. I just shut the door and right then heard the spiteful voice of the pioneer from behind. Well, happy now? You've hurt a girl. What have I hurt her with? What should I have said to her? My dear, right to my dear granny in the village? Or should I have left her the address of my house that's probably not even built yet? So what? I am not my brother's keeper. It's your world, not mine. I'll manage somehow on my own. That's the last phrase. That last phrase really made me squirm. You know what? I managed to for someone knocking the door again. Come in. Flew into the cabin. Why the rush, milady? I made excessively showy bow. Me? I'm just... Her eyes started to crystalize, her cheeks were blushed. Just wanted to say goodbye. There would be a time for that anyway. After all, we'll all be going on the same bus. Yeah, you're right, but it's kind of embarrassing in front of everybody. Oh, so there's something you can be embarrassed by. I laughed. She pouted. I just wanted to tell you that you aren't a douche, really. In fact, you're almost a cool guy.
Almost.
Her words astonished me.
Almost.
Almost. Well, thanks. You're good to hang out with, too. Well, that's that. She rushed outside, slamming the door loudly. Hey, didn't expect that from her. Hey, didn't expect that from her? Did you? I got nothing to do with that, I told you. It really looks like you knew what she will say. Maybe I did. Maybe I did not. You just came here to mock me. I started to lose my temper. That idea had also crossed my mind. Then why the hell are you hanging around here? If I need even a man to comment on all my actions, I'll hire a professional psychologist. You think after all this time I don't qualify as one? My estimation is that after all the time you've definitely gone bananas. All psychologists are freaks. Yes, but not all freaks are psychologists. He laughed out loud. A sense of humor. How encouraging. Frankly, your jokes are fairly lame. Who are you laughing at? At yourself. Listen, if you've got nothing to do with in your own world, go and bug that second one. You've got anything to do in your own world, Pioneer Starboard encounter. You know, I'll find out what to do. I'll pack up my things, leave this camp, and then what? And then what? Like I know. I've never been such, believe it or not. It's just that you've forgotten that you won't be able to leave the camp. Yeah, he was right on this matter. Probably. Just because you failed to do so, that doesn't mean that I will fail too. You're the boss. Knocking at the door. Damn, who else is it? Come in. But the door didn't open, so I pulled the handle myself. Lena was on the doorstep. I was really scared. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You came to see Olga? No. Staring at the ground. So what is it then? What did Lena want from me? Come in. She hesitated in the middle of the room. Want to take a seat? Pointed at one of the beds. Lena hesitated a bit more, but no, let's take a seat. Something happened. Not at all, it's just... So you could, with a quick blush, once again looked away. Here. The pocket handed it to me. It was stunned. It was my phone. But where did you get it from? I found it in the forest. Okay, but why do you think it's mine? Some boy told me so.
Oh.
Wait, he forgot his phone in the forest? Oh, what?
Shrek.
Have you ever seen him before? I don't know. I couldn't see his face, but he was dressed in a pioneer uniform. Everything was clear at once. And don't you wonder what it is? I looked at the screen, but there was still some better stuff. What if the phone shouldn't just look at a piece of plastic to Lena? I don't know. Some kind of game? Yeah, you're right. Quickly opened a snake in the menu and handed the phone to her. Here you go, a keepsake. Oh, what are you doing? I can't. Lena waved her hands at me. Take it. I have loads of these at home. She resisted a bit more, but finally she took the device. And what do I do with it? Press the keys and move left to right. You've got to eat these pellets and keep from hitting your own tail. Wow, it's so interesting. She smiled. Thank you. And yet I have nothing for you. It's so embarrassing. I don't need anything, thanks. No, that's not good, she said, but the voice sounded common as usual. It's time. It's the last day today, after all. Yeah, I hope we'll meet again. I think we will. Then I have a present for you. Then what is it? Close your eyes. I did so. And promise that you won't open them until I let you. Okay. No, you have to promise. Alright, I promise. Felt a light kiss on my cheek. Eager to open my eyes, but I promised. Open. Room was empty. What a girl. The only thing I managed to say. So how does it feel, stud? I heard malicious laughter from a place where Lena had just been sitting. So that's your new way of pranking me, huh? Using the others? Me? Pranking? God forbid. Indeed, you got a kiss from a sweet girl thanks to me on the cheek, but anyway. I really wanted to beat him up at that moment, but I wasn't sure that he was a physical being here. I presume that this prank wasn't your last one. I said calmer. Who knows? Who knows? Isn't it fun? The pioneer laughed aloud. Perhaps Professor Moriarty laughed like that, anticipating the success of his diabolical plan.
What is this?
You're certainly having fun, but I'm not. Relax, dude. There's almost nothing left, and here you go. Your second lap. After you do a dozen, then you'll earn a pit stop. Although, you probably won't need me then. You'll figure out everything yourself. It's not like I need you right now either. Oh, what ingratitude. Just cut it out, if you'd ever. Just shut up already! No understanding. Shut your damned mouth! I screamed so loud that the walls trembled. Or someone going completely nuts? She asked with fright. Well, you could say so, I answered angrily. Why are you yelling? Because I want to. I realized the accident arrival of Lisa wasn't either planned by this pioneer or be commented on by him in a manner that I'd sooner drive a pair of nails in my ears than I have to hear. Have you gone psycho or something? Lisa reclined independently in a laid-back manner. To what do I owe the honor? I just came for the sake of it, and you're just here screaming. You aren't doing anything just for the sake of it, and I've got nothing to do. I packed my stuff. It's boring. Well. If you think that I came to you because she threw an angry glance at me and turned away, I really shouldn't have come after that. After what? I haven't said a word. Of course, you thought it instead. Oh, so you can read minds now? There's no need to read your mind. It's written all over your face. It's hardly impossible to read anything on my face besides fatigue and anger. Oh, and what have you read there? That's none of your business. Well, it's not like I'm holding you here. Forget it. I'll go wherever I please. Don't boss me around. Okay, stay here then, for God's sake. Anyway, I liked Lisa's company was much more than the pioneers. God, the grammar.
So much grammar.
It's been good for a while.
And then there's that.
Yeah. Close my eyes. It takes a few minutes to bring. Makes sense. You really don't want to tell me anything. For example, today's the last day after all. So you're happy? Well, she'd be able then certainly. Everyone's leaving. Good riddance. And that's all? You need something else? Didn't you like it here? Her voice sounded unusual. I've seen better places. Damn, you're so dumb that speaking to you is a complete waste of time. She got up and headed to the exit. Yep, good luck to you too. Lisa turned to me. Her face was writhing with anger. Could you at least have said that you'll miss me? Sure I will. Wimp. She slammed the door loudly. Stupid. Lisa didn't hear my last line, of course. What a wayward chick, huh? As good as you are. And you, in that case. Of course, keep comparing me to yourself. I remarked mischievously. But what's the difference? We're in the same situation. I've just been here a little longer. Well, in fact, a lot longer. You've already gone completely nuts. No wonder. This horse laughter was really pissing me off. Listen, I've already told you that you should be an actor. You'd do a brilliant Hannibal Lecter. Especially since you consider yourself a psychiatrist. I'll think about it. Now I must go. Maybe I'll see you again. Get lost. Oh, finally. Why did he come? Might be the case to me that others don't believe that. His speech seemed like some sort of a complex game. Like he was trying to give me one hint after another, trying to lead me to something, enabling me to discover some kind of devious plot. Too bad he's not really successful at that, because I'm out of ideas. Time dragged on deceitfully, slowly, but it's 5 p.m. already. It's common during the summer, but if one counts the seconds and minutes, it appears that even a single hour would never end. But if one thinks of anything else, then the whole day flies by quickly. I decided to start backing. They could leave without me. He took out my winter stuff and shoved it in a bag. I was almost about to jump onto the bed again, but then the door opened and Olga came in. Oh, I see you're packed already. That's great, let's go. I got up reluctantly, grabbed my simple luggage, and followed her. Really don't care what happens next. I had long suspected that nothing was up to me in this world, and recent events had reinforced my complete confidence in this. I might wake up tomorrow in bus number 410, or I might not wake up at all. And that's all, folks. It's not all that simple. There's no simple point in staying here. There's nowhere to run. Basically, my only exit is to leave on the bus with everyone else. To go into the unknown. And that's all I've been doing for the last week, stumbling up along a narrow path in a pitch-black darkness, and unsure of where the beginning and where's the end. Semyon. Olga, excuse me just a minute. Okay, we'll make it fast, or we'll leave without you. The voice came. Semyon. made through the thick green and the forest path. The voice seemed to be calling out from nowhere. One moment it was behind a tree, I seen you behind my back. Probably it's one of those aliens from the parallel world. But I had suspected it meant the exact one before. It's either he does find the way out in this, or it's gonna be a repeat and that's the end. It's like, oh shit, and then it just ends. Only you know the answer.
Yeah.
But, oh god. You know what? This ending is quite interesting, even though this is the common route. This is, we don't have much time. I'm listening. I noticed you're even contacted by him and him. Yeah? And I know that they told you. Don't ask me how. Okay? But you must know one thing. The thing I know. There's more than a dozen of us here. In fact, more than 1,000. But a lot of people got out. I tried to digest what he said, phrases like questions. Then why are you here? I stayed. Why? To help others find an exit. Wow, how generous. And why should I trust you? You're the third one already. Well, in fact, I'm not even sure that you are just my hallucination. It's not about trust. And what is it about? It's about the right choice. Consider this camp to be a giant maze. You should make the few right turns and find an exit. Okay, how do I know which ones are right? You will know. Come with me. Where to? To the second lap. Hold on a sec. The pioneer said that a second lap will start tomorrow. He lied. Speaker raised his voice. He's gone completely crazy and he's trying to destroy all the others. So I don't go with you and leave on the bus, will be destroyed, right? I don't know. Well, why did you say so? Nobody ever returned after a conversation with him. Listen, why should I trust you? I was definitely on the edge. Well, that pioneer just mocked me and didn't seem we were in real danger. This one clearly spoke about things worth being anxious about. Couldn't decide which one I should trust. But this problem is trying to get a blind man to say whether the light is room on or off. He can only guess, just like me. Hurry up, time is running out. Hey, wait a sec. Make a choice. Are you coming or not?
I wouldn't follow him. No.
Why? What? Don't follow the boy?
If you follow him, you get, like, murdered.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What?
Do you want to follow the voice and get murdered? Okay, I'm sorry I spoiled it, but you asked.
Okay, whatever. No, you know what? I can't just believe in a couple of minutes. They send me on the other guy. You'll be sorry. Those words sounded like another world. The voice seemed to disappear. Of course, I couldn't be sure whether my voice is right or wrong. I was a blind guess enforced by the time limit. Nevertheless, whether I'm right or not, we'll find out soon.
The boost.
The boost. Everybody's here, began Olga. You're leaving our camp today. I'd like to tell you something important. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time you spent here for a lifetime and that you retain all
you know what I noticed? In these pictures, Olga has brown hair, but her character model has dark red hair.
So?
I don't know, I just thought it was interesting.
Drawing, I don't know.
Swag.
Guy got lazy. When they're actually blonde, but she's like orange or reddish hair.
Orange.
Yeah. Pleasant memories about Sylvia and I. And I also hope that you became at least a little bit better, managed to learn something about and found new friends. Just come back next year. The camp leader looked away. It's like she was trying to keep the tears inside. I didn't expect her to get so emotional, although her speech sounded like complete nonsense to me as usual. A pioneer started to crowd at the bus, babbling cheerfully. All of a sudden I felt easier to throw a coin. Of course, there's no fountain here. I honestly didn't feel like returning, but it's a superstition. I don't believe in them. Never believed in them before. Digging through my pockets, and I found a couple of candy wrappers, a pencil, and a scrap of paper. Then I squatted, put the paper in the ground, and scribbled a few words. You are here for a reason. Grinning at my stupidity, I threw the scrap underneath the wheels of the bus and got into the cabin. I found a place in the middle, but the strangest thing was that everyone sat in pairs, and only I was alone. However, what's the difference now? We'll either disappear or start everything in a couple of hours. District Center, occasionally bouncing over bumps in the road. It was possible to see anything beyond the old windows in the pitch black dark of the night. Anything I couldn't care less about on the countryside. I just sat and waited for the inevitable. For the first time in a long time, my head was completely empty. The pioneers around me enjoyed the trip. Leon and Lisa were playing cards, Neil was reading a book, and Slavia was sleeping. Mika was trying in vain to start a conversation with Zania, and Zania was trying really hard to not start killing people. Electronic and Shirk were crafting something as always. I was the only one and completely ignored by everyone. It would be a slightly far-fetched perception. I only got used to the world being the center of the universe in the camp. I thought that everything revolving around me. Well, that night, to be up to a certain degree, but here I'm now only for an object, an out-of-place molecule in a harmonic pattern of a crystal grid. I'm not sure how long we spent on the road, but sleep had already started to overcome me. I was desperately fighting Morpheus, trying to stay awake as long as I could. The Matrix! The Matrix!
The Matrix.
He's trying to fight Morpheus. Today's the last day of my life. That's possibly reasonable to cling as hard I could as the last few hours of meaningless, useless existence. However, physical fatigue and more importantly emotional fatigue took its toll and I fell asleep. Day. Day dot dot dot. Sharp pain throbbed my entire body. I felt that it sharp my temples. Feels like they're already ready to shatter into 1,000 pieces, giving me wind free access to my empty head. Probably I would not have been able to stand even 5 minutes of such torture if I hadn't opened my eyes in time. I was somewhere. It was impossible to tell precisely where. My mind was clouded in mist. My thoughts were confused. The moment between the unconscious and conscious states where you vividly remember your dreams. I was going somewhere by the bus and was about to doze off. Suddenly a girl came up to me and speak quickly. I couldn't understand a word, but the girl looked very upset. I had failed to understand what she needed from me. Time passed, and she kept talking on and on. It was getting really annoying. I wanted to ask her to cut it out or at least calm down a bit, but I failed. Either because I didn't manage to say anything or because my words didn't reach her. What the fuck is happening?
No idea.
You don't know?
I forgot.
Is this... you don't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh. I was simply listening and staring and listening. Perhaps it wasn't important for me then. Surely you would not try to remember what a mosquito disturbing your sleep looks like. Surely you wouldn't manage to recall the frequency of its flapping wings, or the inclination of its proboscis after that. Proboscis. And this girl is just 1 million voices that disturb you from concentrating, thinking, falling asleep. How much longer do you think we're going to go here?
Probably a few minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah, game time's over. No, it should be at least.
Let's see if we can get it under an hour, guys. It's 51 minutes. 52 minutes. Catch your words. The bus cabin seats turned uneven floor, rusty ceiling, cracks, wind glass, everything was floating away. Along with her, I felt a unique sense of relief. It didn't matter how real the bus and the girl had been, it was nothing but a bug to me. And here I am, hanging in total emptiness and falling inside a dream. Wow, dreams can really be something. Not quite a nightmare, but yet definitely not something pleasant. I got to rub my face to get back to reality, give a log on, prepared to clean myself up. It really was a great morning. Unable to find my hygiene kit on the nightstand, I concluded that I could manage without it. It was hard to get dressed. My hands were trembling like hell. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and checked out my 2-week stubble. Or perhaps Olga has a razor. What? I realized I suddenly understood I'm not in the pioneer camp. I was back in my apartment. I had just come out of my room in the passageway, not out of the cabin. I was overrun with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down in the bed and buried my face into my hands trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, the bus, the last day of the term. Yeah, I fell asleep and woke up back home. Well, to some degree, it might even seem quite logical. It seemed the initial astonishment has worn off in the first few seconds. After all, the fact that I came back like this after a week-long absence is no stranger than my son's sudden appearance at some pioneer camp of the 80s in the first place. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. That mysterious pioneer's words. How did I manage to get back to reality then? According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever. There's no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. That pioneer at the bus stop and the mystery voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. Does that mean I found it? I managed to get out of the endless loop? But how? Nevertheless, I wasn't sure how I should rejoice or grieve. Over the last week, I've kind of gotten used to the everlasting inner monologue, the search for answers, and the in-depth analysis of everything. So I simply couldn't accept the fact that it was. Accept this fact as it was, without figuring out exactly what happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one who observed the existence of other guys like me during the conversory loop, but does that mean anything? Anyway, all of his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now, now I decided how I should react. Did he not figure out that those dudes were just him, or did he really, but he just didn't want to believe it?
I don't know.
Because I think he should have figured out that maybe, oh, they're just copies of me, or really they are other dudes stuck in this loop. I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence that I was really there. I don't see my Pioneer uniform ever. I look my age, just like I did before. My phone is on the table, fully charged. But one can deceive one's own memory. And one can't live through such terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in great detail. Perhaps I was in a coma all this time. An ironic laugh escaped my lips. No, that's not an option either. And all's well that ends well. Last few hours in the camp flashed through my mind. Indeed, I was hoping to get out, either from the camp or from that reality. And I was pretty much ready to another week, and another, accepted my role, and I reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all that stuff that happened? I heaved a doomed sigh, got up from my bed without a considerable effort, and went to my computer. That was weird, but according to it, it was only 14 hours that passed since the disappearance from this world, not a whole week. Leave messages in the instant messenger. Hi, sent me yesterday. It was legendary. See you later. My college friend. It was him who invited me to that party with the rest of his college friends that I was going to attend. Finally, all my sins came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of a hangover. Looks like I indeed attended that party yesterday, and I was partying hard. So there was no Pioneer Camp. But then where did all these memories, emotions, and feelings come from? All this was so incomprehensible that I became enraged, began cursing foully, trying to tear my hair out and hammering on the keyboard with my fists. I didn't return to a normal state until there were no keys left on it. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries about a dream where hallucination ends. He's on some serious crack.
Crack.
Dude, there must have been there must have been drugs so hard at that party.
Every drug.
Every drug possible.
They took every drug possible, mixed it into the punch bowl, and then chugged it.
Oh God. Was I really that prepared to stay there and return to my reality become so undesirable for me? And then a simple and obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Perhaps I had all the symptoms of insanity. I never leave the 4 walls of my prison. I never socialize. I have lots of psychological problems. Well, that explains a lot. My dark, nervous laughter echoed in the room. Guess it's the right time for me to visit a therapist, or rather a psychiatrist. Or should I just surrender myself at the asylum? Send me in. A horse! Half my kingdom for a horse. I cried at the top of my lungs between bouts of maniac laughter. Dispute, not with her. She's a lunatic. The racket my neighbors made on the wall made me calm down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like only a lobotomy could help me. I just sat completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, staring at the monitor since long gone. I finally moved the mouse and opened a few tabs on the browser. What's new? F5. As if the events in the past week never happened. Come on, do you never read for hallucination? Was it real? Sure. Lots of memories. Sure. This looks true enough. By all means, yes. Any proof? No. The verdict is clear. As my future course, I have long suspected that my current lifestyle wasn't doing me any good, and I wasn't ready for such an unusual event. But so what? I'll have to be more prepared for my next trip. Night. An endless stream of threads and images took off my mind in lamentations and considerations. An instant message window popped up and listened. Message: Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quite an originally started conversation. Doing fine. The context profile was clearly empty, not even a nickname, just a 9-digit number. You can't guess what kind of person is on the other end of a looking number, can you? Sure, someday it'll be all different. Unified digital identifiers instead of names, a couple of symbols for a biography, several bytes of personality, and 3.5 bits of feelings. Get home safely? Probably somebody from yesterday's party. Seems like it. You do remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. There was another yesterday after a long pause. I see. Honestly, I don't give a damn who this is and why he's messaging with me. Until this identified individual starts harassing me, I could easily tolerate his presence in my contact list. Well, that's okay. We'll meet again. We surely will. Sure, looking forward to it, yeah. Alright. Bye. I didn't reply. This odd, screwed up day. So real for me. Where am I going to wake up tomorrow? Where there's these hallucinations again? No, I'll probably just forget everything. Strange, but now I really feel that everything happening is real. There was just a fiction, a game of deformed imagination. Something fantastical, and here's reality. Sometimes inconvenient, sometimes it unfolds differently from how you'd wish. Surprises you like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, but I started to forget about the events of that week. After all, nothing bad happened, even if it indeed was real. Who cares? There are only 7 days in a pioneer camp. If I wasn't killed, nobody kidnapped me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed, so why do I care now about the reason? And indeed it was a hallucination. I can only hope that I don't repeat myself. Well, it reached an hour, but since I went this long, we're just gonna keep going.
Almost over.
Like, how close?
Like, should be only a few more minutes.
If I read fast enough. Still a shut-in. My computer internet with the only friends. Communication channel is not gonna be outside.
Chris, when you read like that, no one understands what you're saying.
Yeah, oh, whatever. Communication channel connected me to the outside world. The F5 key became the main thing in my life again. Come to think of it, it really wasn't all that bad. You know, one day a familiar combination of digits popped up on the screen. A strange contact of mine had become online once again. Hey, how are you doing? Doing fine. You're from somewhere, but who cares anyways? Any news? Not really. Stability is a sign of true class? One might say so. Oh, I see. This conversation was over for me, but he didn't seem to feel like that. So, nothing has changed? Nope. Should it have? Well, it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everyone gets to experience it either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I prefer you explain. Don't you remember the camp? Oh my god!
Yeah!
It's real!
It's
I turned in horror! Then nobody in my room sent me. I ran into the corridor, turned to the kitchen, the bathroom, still nobody. At least I turned to the computer, seeing the message window was still flashing steadily as a not perfectly ordinary message. Who are you? My hands were trembling so much I could barely hit the right keys. Oh, so you do remember it. My hallucinations seem to be continuing. Or did I never leave the camp in the first place? Or is it just a dream after all? Or I don't know what to say. I admit it sincerely. Anyhow, I feel that this entity is but the only definition I can think of. Doesn't seem like any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you could just keep silent. Everything's perfectly clear. The smile at the end of the line looked like the devil himself, stretching its deformed jaws open to devour me. What is happening to me? Finally came up with my mind to ask that question. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, was it real? And what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed like real to you, then yes, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's just that simple. That's not simple at all. What will happen to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. It seems that it really hurt me without the use of the internet. Terror chained my whole body. I closed my eyes and curled myself into a ball. Why are you doing this to me? I started to lose it. My words coming out of my mouth themselves, logical meaningless sets of words. Why? Why me? What for? What for? Leave me alone. I haven't done anything bad. Several minutes after, I found the courage to open one eye and look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. What? What?
I don't know.
The message window was looking at it. And what's next? Oh, you'll see that soon enough. Started fading back. Noise filled my ears. Started to feel dizzy. I felt my soul escaping its physical hell. The events of the last days became hazy. As they all happened, then the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was using an eraser to thoroughly rub out words written in pencil. Moments later, I felt and sensed nothing, as though I plunged into a state of cosmic bliss. If anyone saw me at that moment, they would notice that I was smiling. I'm kind of stuck in here. I hit the report spam button, closed the window, switched to the browser, and glanced at the clock. Time to get going or I'm going to be late. Forever alone. Achievement unlocked. Wow, the Xbox thing. Every story at the beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, and prologue and an epilogue. And there's no book which, again, will not reveal new details since you didn't notice before. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. Is it it?
I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. It's over.
He just continues on with his life.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of it. Long ass episode, but I told you, if this was going to be the end, we were going to go all the way.
So, Chris, what'd you think of that end?
Well, he got out. Nothing happened to him.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like the entire game was just pointless.
There is other actual routes, but this is like the default one if like you mess things up with the girls.
Yeah, but I clicked a couple of those options
Yeah,
back
I know,
there.
it didn't like want you to. For for some reason.
Yeah, it's either the game
I think
broke.
the game broke.
Yeah.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah. So guys, I didn't get the common route because I'm bad at this game. I got the common route because the game broke, apparently.
Implying that anyone can be bad at a visual novel.
Yeah, but the game just broke.
How can you be bad at a visual novel, though?
I don't know. Like the part where we were at the hike and it told me, oh, go interfere with their conversation. I clicked that.
Yeah, I know.
You even saw me click that, but it didn't do that. I was like, what?
What?
Oh, well, that's Everlasting Summer. If you really, really, really want me to do another route.
I'm gonna get, like, a bunch of people from our school to start a petition for you to do another route.
They better goddamn watch the whole goddamn thing. They better watch the whole thing. If they don't watch the whole thing, then no.
But you suddenly have 5,000 views on every video? Oh.
Dear God. Well, thanks for watching. I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah,
How about
the ending
you?
was interesting. When I first played through it and I got the ending, I was not expecting it. I was like, oh, this is different than most visual novels. That was
Like-
actually refreshing.
Like, I was expecting, just to go I was expecting the Lena route for a moment.
Yeah.
I was expecting that, and apparently, if the game broke or not, it was just... Oh, Jesus.
You got semi-good at it.
Okay. Yeah, I got good ending. I lived. Yeah, if you really want me to do another route of this, guys, just,
Spam
spam the comments. Tell your friends about it. Have them watch it. Tell them to spam the comments if they want it. Hit that like button and subscribe if you really want more. Hit liking the series and subscribing will be the only goddamn thing that makes me like this. When we can do another route. Because this took a while. This episode's very long and I want to end it right now. But yeah, I'll probably play more visual novels in the future, and if Hershey wants to sit in the back where I'll do it by myself, that's fine.
Sitting in the background it's nice.
Well, I guess, were you disappointed that we got on this route, or were you happy that I ended this?
I was kind of hoping that we were going to see another route. This is the route I got.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you can just end it. I'll tell you.
Okay. See you guys.